The hallway light flickered once, twice, then went out. Mia froze halfway up the stairs. In the glow from her phone she saw it, her own shadow on the wall. But another shadow stood right behind it. Taller. So, not hers. She turned fast, nothing there. Then in the dark she heard it breathe. 2 hours earlier, Mia Harper was riding home with her mom from the late movie in downtown Franklin, Illinois. Rain slid down the car windows in thin silver lines. The wipers squeaked across the glass. "That was just a movie," her mom said, smiling in the mirror. "Don't let it stick in your head." "I know," Mia muttered, but she couldn't stop picturing the dark figure from the film, the one that followed people home. They turned onto Maple Street where the streetlights buzzed and blinked. The neighborhood looked sleepy, quiet. Mia leaned her head against the cold window. That's when she saw it, something standing under a flickering streetlight 2 houses away. A person maybe. Or a shadow too thick for light to pass through. "Mom," she whispered. "Someone's there." Her mom glanced out but saw only the empty road. "You're tired, honey? It's past 10. But Mia kept her eyes on the spot. As the car rolled by, the shadow bent, like it turned its head to watch her go. Inside their 2-story house, everything felt normal at first. The smell of rain drifted through the open window. The fridge hummed softly. Mia dropped her backpack by the stairs. Then click. The hallway bulb above her flickered, sputtered, and went out. "Mom?" she called. "Probably the storm," her mom answered from the kitchen. "Grab the flashlight, will you?" Mia went to the junk drawer. The flashlight was cold in her hand. She clicked it on. The beam cut through the dark, landing on the living room wall, where a shadow stood perfectly still. She gasped and swung the light toward it, only to see her own reflection in the window glass. She laughed nervously. "Get it together, Mia," she whispered. But when she turned off the flashlight, she heard something upstairs. Thump. Then slow creaking like a footstep on the old wooden floor. "Mom, did you hear that?" Her mom didn't answer right away. Then, probably just the house settling. The sound came again, heavier this time, closer to the stairs. Later that night, Mia lay in bed with her lamp still on. The rain had stopped, but the silence felt too big. The shadows in her room stretched long across the floor. She reached over to check her phone. It was dead. The clock on her dresser blinked 3 a.m. Her chest tightened. The power was back, so why was the time wrong? Then came a soft humming sound. Like a child's voice, low and tuneless. It came from the hallway outside her door. She sat up. "Mom?" The humming stopped. She slid out of bed and stepped onto the carpet. The air felt colder by the second. When she reached for the door handle, a chill ran up her arm. She opened it just a crack. The hallway was empty. She stepped out slowly. Each floorboard creaked under her feet. Downstairs, the front door rattled once, like someone trying the handle. She ran back to her room, heart pounding. "It's just the wind," she whispered. "Just the wind." Then she saw it. On her wall, near the dresser, her shadow. But another stood beside it, facing the opposite way. Mia froze. The second shadow lifted its hand and touched hers on the wall. But she hadn't moved. Her bedroom light flickered. Once, twice, then died completely. Darkness swallowed the room. A whisper brushed her ear. "Found you." Mia screamed and stumbled back, straight into something solid. A cold hand closed around her wrist. The light snapped back on. No one was there. Her wrist burned where the fingers had been. She ran for the stairs, breathing hard, calling for her mom. But when she reached the bottom, the front door was wide open. Rain blew in across the floor. Outside, wet footprints led from the porch to the middle of the street, then stopped. Mia followed them to the doorframe, shaking. Her breath came out in clouds even though it wasn't cold. She looked down at the floor and froze. Another set of wet footprints had appeared. Inside. Right behind her. Mia spun around, flashlight shaking in her hand. Nothing. Only the dripping sound of rain. But the new footprints glistened on the floor, fresh, wet, and shaped like bare human feet. She took one shaky step backward. The wood creaked under her heel. Then, somewhere behind her, the front door slammed shut. Her scream brought her mom running down the stairs in her robe. "Mia, what happened?" "The door, someone's inside." Mia pointed to the wet footprints, but her mom just frowned. "There's nothing there, honey. You must have tracked them in when you opened the door." "No," Mia whispered. "They came after." Her mom knelt to wipe the floor with a towel, but the footprints had already vanished, soaking into the wood as if they'd never existed. A chill ran through the air and Mia's flashlight flickered. For a moment she saw her mom's shadow stretch long across the hallway floor. Then it bent the wrong way, against the light. "Mom," Mia said softly, "your shadow?" But when her mom turned, the shadow snapped back to normal. "Go to bed," her mom sighed. "You need sleep." Mia lay awake, staring at the ceiling. The house moaned in the wind, but there was another sound too, a slow, dragging noise above her, like someone pulling a heavy bag across the attic floor. She sat up, heart pounding. The attic. No one ever went up there. Then came the whisper again. "Mia." Her name drawn out like a breath. She clutched her blanket tight. "Mom?" she called. No answer. Just the faint sound of tapping on glass. Tap, tap, tap. It was coming from her window. She turned slowly. The rain had stopped, but drops still slid down the glass. Behind them, something darker shifted, like a tall shape standing just beyond the reflection. Then the lamp beside her bed flickered off. The window fogged over. And on the fog a handprint appeared. Mia bolted out of her room and ran down the hall. "Mom," she shouted. Her mom's door was half open. The TV inside flickered with static, bright gray light filling the room. "Mom?" The bed was empty. The bathroom door at the end of the hall creaked open by itself. She took one step closer, flashlight trembling. "Mom, please answer me." Something moved inside, slow and wet. Her mom's voice came faintly from the top of the stairs. "Mia? What's wrong?" "Mom? Stay there." Mia shouted. "Something's in the house." The lights flickered. Her mom's figure stood in the hallway above, but her shadow stretched all the way down the stairs to Mia's feet. "Mom?" The shadow's hand reached toward her before her mom could move. Mia backed up until her shoulders hit the counter. Her heartbeat thudded in her ears. Then, every light in the house went out. For a second there was only darkness. Then a whisper filled the kitchen. "You brought me home." Something brushed her neck, cold as ice. She screamed. A blinding flash of light exploded outside, a lightning strike that lit the whole room for half a heartbeat. In that instant she saw it clearly. The shadow was wrapped around her mom like a second skin. And when the light vanished again, her mom's voice came out wrong, lower, rougher. "It's okay, sweetheart," the voice said. "Everything's fine now." Mia stepped back, trembling. "You're not my mom." The figure smiled in the dark. "Of course I am." Mia's flashlight flickered once more. When it came back on, the thing was gone. Only her mom's robe lay empty on the floor. From upstairs came a slow, heavy footstep. Then another. And then her mom's voice, soft, calm and not human, called down. "Mia, come upstairs." Mia's knees went weak. Her mom's voice drifted down again, soft, warm, but not right. "Mia, come upstairs." Every word stretched too slow, like someone learning to speak for the first time. The hall light blinked once, then went dark again. Only the flashlight beam cut through the black, shaking in Mia's hand. She pointed it toward the stairs. Halfway up, a shape leaned around the corner, her mom's face pale and smiling. "Mom?" Mia whispered. The figure didn't answer. It just tilted its head. Then the smile widened, too wide. Mia backed away, heart hammering. "Please," she whispered. "Leave us alone." The shadow behind her mom stretched down the wall, spilling across the steps like liquid darkness. Then it rose. It peeled itself free from her mom's shape, tall and thin, taller than the ceiling. Its arms reached the floor like strands of smoke. Her mom's voice changed, broken, almost crying. "Mia, run." The lights exploded, pop, 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 glass raining down. The flashlight went out. Everything went black. Mia turned and ran blindly, hitting the front door with her shoulder. She yanked the handle, but it wouldn't move. Cold air pressed against her from behind, heavy like water. She shoved again and the door flew open. Rain poured down. The wind howled through the street. She bolted out barefoot, splashing across puddles. Behind her, something followed, the sound of slow, wet footsteps hitting the porch, one by one. When she reached the mailbox, she stopped and turned. The shadow figure stood in the doorway. Lightning lit it from behind. Its body looked like smoke trying to take shape. And then, in her mom's voice again, it said, "You can't run from what follows you home." Mia ran toward the neighbor's house, Mrs. Clark's, 2 doors down. The lights were on. She banged on the door. "Help. Please." Mrs. Clark opened it in her robe, eyes wide. "Mia? What on earth?" Before she could finish, the lights inside her house flickered. Every shadow in the living room stretched toward Mia, long and reaching. "No," Mia said, backing away. "Not again." Mrs. Clark frowned. "Sweetheart, you're soaked. Come inside." Mia shook her head hard. It's following me. Don't. Too late. The hallway behind Mrs. Clark went dark. Something moved fast across the ceiling, leaving black trails like smoke. Mrs. Clark gasped, then froze. Her eyes went wide and her shadow on the wall turned its head, but she didn't move. Mia screamed and ran back into the storm. She didn't stop until she reached the woods behind her house. The rain was colder here. Every tree groaned in the wind. She ducked under a branch, slipping in mud, and crouched beside an old picnic table. Her breath came out white. The woods went quiet. No rain, no wind, just silence. Then snap. A branch broke behind her. Mia turned slowly. The shadow stood between the trees. It didn't walk, it slid forward, smooth and soundless. "Why me?" she cried. "What did I do?" The thing tilted its head again. "You saw me," it whispered. "Now I belong to you." She took a shaky step back. "Go away." But the air behind her grew colder, heavier. She turned, and saw a second shadow forming against the tree beside her. It was hers. But it moved a second too late. The shadow on the tree lifted its hand. So did she. Then it smiled. And she didn't. The flashlight flickered weakly in her grasp. "I'm not afraid of you," she yelled, her voice cracking. The shadow's mouth opened wide. From it came a deep sound, not a scream, not a growl, but something that made the ground hum. The trees shook. The light in Mia's hand died. Darkness swallowed everything. When Mia woke, morning light poured through the leaves. Her clothes were dry. The woods were quiet again. She stood slowly, dizzy, trying to remember. Her mom's car was in the driveway when she reached the house. The front door stood open. The kitchen light was on. "Mom?" she called. No answer. Inside, the house looked the same as always, except for one thing. The floor by the stairs was wet again. Small footprints led from the doorway to the living room. Hers. And beside them a second trail. Bare. Larger. Her mom's voice came softly from the kitchen. "You're safe now, honey. Come have breakfast." Mia froze. That voice too calm. Too slow. Her shadow on the floor stretched toward the kitchen door, and something else stretched beside it. The second shadow smiled first. Mia dropped the flashlight and backed away, whispering, "Please no." The kitchen door creaked open. Her mom stood there, smiling. Her eyes were normal, but no light reflected in them. She held out her hand. "See, sweetheart? It followed you home." The floorboards creaked behind Mia. She turned slowly. Every wall, every corner was filled with shadows. Long, crawling, whispering her name. Her mom's voice came again, gentle and close. "Now it's part of us." Mia screamed. And the lights went out.